Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today. And though you've come through many obstacles.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my first impressions reaction to OddTaxi. So, there's a couple reasons why we're doing this. One, I've wanted to check this series out because it's getting a lot of big hype. There's a lot of big anime YouTubers, such as Jeff Thew of Mother's Basement and Giguk, who are praising this series to high hell and saying it's one of the best anime to come out in recent years, and that it's a top contender for anime of the year already. Two, as has been pointed out already on the channel, there is no My Hero Academia this week. So for Wednesday, I've decided to do a couple first impressions reactions. So as a reminder, a first impressions reaction is kind of different from a review. With a first impressions reaction, rather than a first impressions review, there is a high chance that I might want to react to the series just going into it, based on whatever factors happen to be there. It's something that I would possibly be interested in reacting to, but I want to kind of preview the first episode first. We did this like with Revolutionary Girl Utena, and after seeing the first episode, yeah, I definitely plan to react to that. And we're kind of playing it by ear with that, seeing if the first episode makes me really want to have this as a reaction series. So, OddTaxi. All I know about this is that it's a mystery, that the characters are animals, anthropomorphic animals, and that it involves a taxi. That's pretty much it. I've stayed mostly spoiler free. I just know those three basic things. And I don't know what to expect going into this. Especially with all the praise it's got. Now, mind you, a show being praised, especially in anime, does not necessarily mean I'm going to like it. There's been plenty of highly praised anime out there that I don't like. I mean, just off the top of my head, you have stuff like Code Geass, you have Neon Genesis Evangelion, and so on and so forth. And it even extends beyond anime, too, if you want to count stuff like Amphibia, and various other cartoons, Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated as an example, that I just couldn't get into, that just weren't for me, basically. And it's fine. And it's fine just the same when people don't like shows that I love. Because it's all subjective. It's all personal taste. We don't have to have the same interests, the same shows we love. So there's nothing wrong with that. But I am definitely curious on checking stuff like this out. When something is this popular, I want to see why, you know? I want to know the reasons why it's this popular, why people are talking about it, like in contention for anime of the year. So we're going to give it a chance. We're going to see what it's like. And if I enjoy it enough, we might pick it up as a reaction series somewhere down the line. We'll see. Or I might enjoy it and just still think that it's something I'd rather watch on my own time. Or I might not enjoy it. We don't know. Kind of going into this without really any knowledge on how that's going to turn out. So we're just going to get into it, hope for the best, and make a decision afterwards. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, Everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, this was interesting. And right off the bat, I want to say something. When it came out, people compared Beastars to Zootopia, saying it was like the anime equivalent of Zootopia, and I never saw it. It's like you have to have more than just anthropomorphic animals to make that comparison. You have to definitely cover a lot more of the like story intricacies and um, ideas and stuff within it too. Because otherwise, there's like a lot of different things that have had anthropomorphized animals. And yeah, Beastars did cover a lot of notable heavy topics and whatnot, but it never felt like Zootopia with the way it handled them. This, however, does. It just feels like this kind of story could take place in the same world as Zootopia. It feels natural in comparison. The only real thing I ever got from Beastars that could be compared is the entire predator versus prey kind of deal. That's literally it. But this feels more like it's within that same kind of realm, to me at least. That being said, um, this was definitely interesting. Definitely had some notable points of intrigue, but it was also really slow. At least this first episode was. And it honestly made me feeling lacking in terms of reaction. So let's talk about this. So, Odd Taxi centers around Arakawa. Arakawa is a taxi driver in this town, and apparently it's presumed, it's kind of insinuated that he picked up this young girl and she eventually went missing. Um, the police are apparently searching for her, and apparently connected in this case is this criminal who is apparently known for violence and whatnot. And so they're trying to figure things out and handle things. And eventually, Arakawa has his camera footage seized. And at the end, we see that it's given to the criminal by the cop because, police corruption and working with criminals and all. But we also have some other points of intrigue throughout this episode. For one, it's implied that the alpaca nurse stole 600 pills from the hospital she's working at. And I'm just wondering where that's going to go. We also find out that Arakawa apparently isn't sleeping very well. And I wonder if that's going to have relevance. And that's kind of where a lot of this goes with the first episode. And I guess that's a good sign of a mystery when you're wondering what's going to have relevance, what's important, how is this going to connect. You're just wondering where this is going to go. But the biggest point of intrigue is that it appeared that Arakawa was hiding someone in his apartment. And I think it's very much implied that it's the girl. which makes me think, at least, that he's hiding her to protect her. That maybe she told him that she's being like looked for and chased after by this criminal. But he's also saying that she could leave at any time, so I'm just not sure what the deal with this is yet. We're just gonna kind of have to see and figure more out going into the future. Odokawa himself seems very socially awkward, which I can relate to. It doesn't seem like he's very well versed in communication at all. And like we even see how whenever he's asked a question, he he has to think of like four possible responses before he can even decide what to say. And it's like that's a classic sign of social anxiety. Not knowing what to say and thinking of all these different responses before you can even, well, respond. So, yeah, it's really well handled in that regard. But at least as of now, Odokawa is not that interesting of a main character. That might develop as the series goes on, but he's kind of boring right now, to be completely honest. Um, the art and animation is good, but it's at least again at least so far nothing to really get super excited over. The voice acting is passable. It's again nothing amazing, at least as of yet. Um, and that's kind of where I would rate this first episode in general. It's good, it's passable, but it's nothing amazing. It doesn't really stand out. And that's maybe a little disappointing because I expected maybe a little bit more considering how much praise this series is getting. But this was only the first episode, to be fair. Um, but that being said and all, I don't think I'm going to end up continuing this unless someone chooses it as a donation reward and really wants to see my reactions to it. I'll probably just watch it on my own time. Because being all honest here, I don't know if it's going to give me the opportunity to have enough good reactions. It doesn't feel like it's bad or anything, but I just don't feel like I'm going to be able to react to it well enough. Because like that's the thing. It's like not every series is great for reactions, even if it's a good series. So you have to find something that you can actually actively engage in and react to as well. Like something like the Owl House, for example, leads to a lot of great opportunity for actual reaction and engagement. Um, there's a lot to work off of there. But something like this, it's a lot more slow. It's something that you just kind of sit back and watch and relax to, it feels like, while trying to figure out the mysteries and all. It doesn't seem like something that would be for a reaction, so that's all I'm saying. But I would love to hear your thoughts either way. So tell me in the comments below what you think of the first episode of Odd Taxi. If you've seen any future episodes, no spoilers. And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.